work poop schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So at my like job, because you have to go visit a lot like clients, and it's like a big office, and like we do a lot of like out in the field stuff. We have like a big board of like everybody's name, and you can put like if you're gonna be out or like when you're gonna return. So like,
Do you still work with retarded people?
no, no.
Okay. Can we say what kind of people you work with?
Yeah, because I mean, if I want to tell like a little bit of the story, it's not that like it's just
I know we can't talk about like specifically, but
yeah.
it's like what kind of work is it? I thought you still
right
worked
now,
with mentally challenged people.
I did. I told you I got to promote or not promote. I got a new job. Like
Right.
pays way more. But I work with people who are considered like high risk Medicaid users and like other things. So like people with HIV or mental illness or at risk to be homeless, and like I manage their like healthcare and make sure they have like like
At risk. What does that mean? At risk to be homeless?
like they're going to be evicted or they're living in
Oh,
a
so they're
shelter.
like okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I read somewhere that it costs more to keep a to have homeless, like one homeless person on the street costs more than having one homeless person in a home. Like if I mean in like a house or some shit. Like it costs more to have them on the streets.
That's part of the idea behind my job, like where the grants and stuff come for like my job. So if you have somebody who is homeless or specifically not like taking care of themselves, even though they have Medicaid, what they're doing is they're considered high Medicaid users. So instead of preventative care, like like we go to the doctor and stuff, like they just go
We
straight to
don't.
the
I
ER.
don't.
Well, yeah, but I mean they go straight to the ER.
For what
So
purpose? Why do they go straight to the ER? Just because
It's
because they don't have
they
any
don't either have a
preventive.
primary care or like they wait until like I mean if you're homeless, like the last thing you're worried about is like making a doctor's appointment.
Right,
You'll wait
right,
till,
right.
like it's an issue. So
Right.
like they'll just go to the ER, and like obviously ER visits are way more.
There was this
than,
when I lived on the Upper East Side. There was this dude that like I would see him lay down and wait for the ambulance. Like he would. How do I describe? He was bad off. Like he wasn't doing well or whatever. But he would like lay down and tell someone to call the ambulance, and they would show up and like help him up, and they'd be like, "Come on, you don't need us." And he's like, "Yeah, take me." And they're like, "No, come on, you don't need to come with us. Like we do this every couple days. We come out, you're on the ground pretending that you're hurt, and then you want to go to the hospital, but you don't need to go. You don't have anything wrong with you at this moment." Like shit like that. Like
Yeah.
he just wanted to fucking go there for whatever reason. I don't fucking know. Maybe they gave him drugs or I have no idea why he wanted to go to the hospital. But it was like this
Well,
scheme where he always wanted to go.
That's a free bed. Usually a free.
Yeah, but
night,
can't you just
free
go to
meal.
a housing thing or something, especially in New York City, right?
You can go to a shelter. A lot of times they do have limits. Like
Right.
they only have so many beds. If it's in the winter, there's things called like Code Blue, where all the shelters have to take people. Like you can't turn people down.
The thing that fucking bugs me is like, and I listen, I don't fucking know anything about fucking much of anything, but I know that there's a lot of fucking money in this country, and it can't cost that much to fucking get these people somewhere where they're like not dying on the fucking streets or jerking off on the subway. Like, can't we get more fucking shelters? Like, how much does that cost? Does that cost like a shit? Is that fucking out of the realm of possibilities to like to spend some money, like take some money from some shit that we might probably like maybe buy one less drone and like make a couple more shelters instead of a drone? Like, is that fucking crazy?
That's
Is that
obviously
socialism? Is that like do I sound like a communist right now saying that kind of shit?
as coming from.
This is a new podcast. This is all fucking America podcast, alright? I got the flag on the fucking background.
I was gonna say, speaking as our resident Canadian socialist here, yeah, well,
Like one less drone. How much does a drone cost?
oh, see, that's the thing though. Like the drone, yeah, but see, the drone is to use Reaganism, like trickle down economics. So, like when you're building the drone, you have the whole military-industrial complex, and they're like sending out contracts to other people or giving other people a job. So, like the net benefit of building that drone is actually more than what the drone is worth. So yeah, you might spend, let's say, $10 million on the drone, but
Yeah.
you're really putting like $50 million back into the economy via taxes and just job opportunities. So it's not as cut and dry. Like,
I don't know.
don't make the drone and give that money to homeless people who are.
I'm not necessarily a drone, but you know what I mean,
Yeah,
right?
I know what you're saying.
Like,
why can't you cut money from one area?
From like not even like cut the area. Yeah. I'm just saying cut a little bit of money because we have people in this country that are fucking dying on the streets that need a place to live, or not even live, but just like need a little bit of help. And instead of killing somebody in a different country, maybe just save a couple. Like just I'm not saying don't kill people in other countries. Like we should like kill them, you know. Like I mean, God bless America. You know, this podcast is different this week. This week we're American. And, you know, like, even Nikem is, like, American this week. But I'm just saying, don't, like, I'm not saying stop kill people in other countries. Like, let's keep doing that. That's awesome. I don't really mean that. That's not really what I'm saying, but...
You want to back that one up?
I'm just saying, maybe take a little bit of money out of that. Like, a couple people can live in a different country just so we can help a couple people live here. Is that crazy? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the economics behind it. Like, I'm not fucking that smart to figure that shit out.
It's really not. It's not crazy, but it takes a fundamental shift. And
dude, you cannot live in New York City and ride the subway. Like, you ride the subway twice a day to work and home from work. You are guaranteed to see at least one homeless person, probably fucking more. At least one. I swear to God, every fucking day I see him. Every day.
Okay, like here in Toronto, we have the same. Well, not infrastructure, but I would say we even have the same social we have the same problem where you can't like take our subway or the Go Bus, which is just like the transit system, like through downtown Toronto. You will see at least 3 homeless people. Like I pass by at least 4 whenever I go visit my friends in like downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
And they're always in the same areas, and that's because they're high traffic areas. So it doesn't matter where you go, you're always gonna this isn't an American problem. This is like a world problem. So, if there's some...
I turn my mic down. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
It just differs. I mean, obviously, like, a lot of people have opinions. Like, you know, a lot of homeless people are either lazy or stuff like that. So, I mean, it's... Like, I don't want to give my money to someone who doesn't deserve it, which... I mean, obviously, working with this population, I've worked with it before I worked with the tards.
Jesus. I felt bad about saying retarded, and now I feel okay about it.
Not saying it, but like, I would say it's like 50-50. I mean, it's anything. I mean, there's rich people who take care, like, work the system, and there's poor people that work the system. But like, there's definitely a majority of them who aren't. And like, I mean, it's amazing by like how much like happenstance, like you can just end up homeless. Like, dude, one of my clients, like, he just was in a coma for 3 months, and like his landlord chucked all his shit, thought he was dead, and now like he lost like a lot of his like paperwork that like he was getting his income from,
right?
And like now he's got nothing. Like, so,
dude, I think about it all the time. Like, if my parents, like, fucking, you know, knock on wood, if my parents were ever to like die or whatever, and I lost my job, like, what the fuck would I do? You know, like, like, not that I use my parents for money, but I mean, like, if anything were to fucking happen to me, I know that I can go to my parents and be like, guys, like, I'm fucked right now, like, I need to move home or whatever. But like, if I didn't have parents, and a lot of people don't, you know, or have like shitty home situations, or their parents are fucking, you know, not or hard up on money, like, shit, man, it's really easy to be fucking poor. I feel like it could happen to anybody really quickly.
Canadian social safety net.
Not this week. Not this fucking week, Nick. I'm not fucking on this podcast.
Start out of my like poop strategy. So,
anyways,
oh yeah, sorry, fuck, man.
Well, no, I mean, so when people leave the office, like, we have the thing, like, so you know, secretary, if we have anyone come in or like anyone calls, like, she knows who's in and out. But I use that to navigate. Like, my office building is broken up into like 3 sectors, kind of like based on like our programs, like, we offer. So there's 3 bathrooms in each part of the building. So I like have figured out like where on the board to look for each sector, and then if like, say there's like 6 in a sector, if 4 or 5 of them are out, like that's a go for taking a dump in that bathroom.
Right.
So I'll like periodically just like visit the receptionist, like, well, hey, what's going on? Got any faxes for me? She's like, no, he came up here earlier. I'm like, oh, all right. It's just
Do you think that she's caught on to your pooping strategy yet, or?
no, I don't. I mean, because I don't.
Do you think you
No,
do you think you could get her in and maybe like an accomplice almost, where she could scout out like,
no,
the
'cause
good pooping spots?
She's essentially like she herself is a golden ticket because there's a bathroom in my area, like in the programs I work in. There's a bathroom in like kind of like the drug part in the back, like where there's a lot of drug programs, and then in reception by like our meeting rooms and like the kitchen and the break room, there's a bathroom like right across from her, but she goes out like on like doctor visits or lunch or whatever.
Yeah,
And so she's gone. Like that one's free because no one's gonna like hang out in the waiting room.
right.
So
Well,
I go take like dumps in the waiting room.
what about people waiting? Do people wait in there or no?
They may, but I mean, if she comes in, like if they come in and she's not there, they have to like ring a bell.
Right.
So I can cut it off. Like I hear a bell.
Oh, and then you snip it and jump
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
Like oh, I just got in here. Like I just got in this bathroom.
I've been kind of like messing with this idea of like when the janitors clean the bathrooms at my building, they put the sign on the door. I was thinking about forging one, or like making a forgery of one of those signs. Yeah, and just put that on the fucking door, and then you got that place to yourself. Unless the janitor comes, then there's a lot of confusion.
When it comes to pooping strategies, I think I have it the best at my office because we have two floors in our office, right? But no one uses the second floor is completely unused, and there's 2 bathrooms up there. I do know for a fact that a couple people use, and I work in an engineering firm, so it's all dudes except for one chick, and she's the receptionist. She has her own bathroom. So I know a couple people that use the upstairs dude's bathroom, but no one uses the ladies' rooms up there. So I've just converted it to my own private bathroom.
I mean, smart.
Yep.
Wait, you're using the ladies' room?
Yeah, because we have one girl who works for us.
Cam, it's dangerous.
There's one girl. No one comes upstairs.
I think it's dangerous. I don't like that plan. That would stress me. I would be stressed. I would be like, you can't shit when you're stressed. Like I can't shit when I'm stressed. That would stress me the fuck out, knowing that I'm in a women's room.
Most comfortable bathrooms or most comfortable poops I've ever had in my entire life.
You think they would fire you if they found out?
See, well, then I have to explain why I'm upstairs first of all, and then I guess why I'm in the ladies' room. And I think they just be like,
they're like, all right, man, we're gonna let you slide on the upstairs.
Yeah, but
the ladies' room's pushing it, man. What the fuck is going on with you?
Well, I would literally just explain, like, look, all the other bathrooms.
I was confused.
No, all the other bathrooms are being.
Wait, are they singles?
Yeah. Well, no, they're like, it's weird because there's
like
2
another
stalls.
lady could come in that room.
Yeah,
that
she
bathroom.
could.
She could.
Yeah, that's
Come on.
But there
That's
is
too
no
risky.
other lady. It is an engineering firm. Like, we don't
hire women.
We don't. Yeah, well, pretty much for a while we were all dudes. I don't know how we're getting away with that. Like, that can't be in any way legal.
No, probably not.
But yeah, like, we don't hire women. They don't apply. We don't get women customers. Like, it's always dudes.
Sounds
more
like
dudes.
DC's old stance on fucking women in comic books.
Yeah, just they don't fucking exist.
They don't exist.
They're
so
somebody's wife.
they don't work here, so.
Yeah. Besides, they have the downstairs bathroom, and that's the one that everybody goes. Like, the few times that we do, like, somebody's wife comes in, or we do get, like, a client that, like, is a woman, they use the downstairs bathroom. No one ever thinks to go upstairs.
Second-class citizens. Man.
It's too stressful.
I wish I worked with more girls. Like,
Nakam, you don't backpedal now. Nakam's
do.
official stance is we don't hire women.
And
well,
and if we do, I'll use their bathroom.
If they do, I'm shitting in their bathroom.
yeah, it's a completely unused bathroom. It's in an area of the office that no one uses. I'm taking a dump there. I think I'm a trailblazer. If there was an all women's office and they had, like, the lonely dude's bathroom, do you not think that they would, like, go take a deuce there? Really?
I would, no, they definitely would. Yeah. They definitely
like,
would.
The thing about girls is, like, they have. I'm not okay. How do I word this so we don't turn off any worse than we are? Like, if you go to a bar and you see, like, the big ass lineup for the girls' washroom,
Yeah.
there are times where the girls will just be like, "Fuck it."
I'll tell you why.
Come to the dudes' bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be at the fucking urinals and, like, the stalls are open. So.
Well, that and there's no guy that'll raise a fucking stink about that. Like, no guy will give a shit because we don't fucking care. Like, if a chick comes in the back, like, if I'm taking a piss, right,
Mhm.
a chick comes in the bathroom and she sees my dick, I'm gonna be like, it's awkward for me, but I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm not gonna fucking be like, yo, I gotta talk to somebody in charge about this. Like, and at the end of the day, she saw my fucking dick. I don't give a shit, whatever. She came in the bathroom, but if you went into this fucking chick's bathroom and you saw a chick squatting in there, she would raise fucking hell about that shit.
Because
I mean, rightfully so. I'm not saying it's a fucking bad thing. I'm just saying, like, that there's a little bit of a cultural difference, or not cultural, but like a little bit of a difference where it's just like, I don't fucking care about that shit. Maybe some guys would care about it. I don't know. I can't speak for every guy.
And I'm just saying that I'm taking it back. I'm trying to bring equality to both the sexes.
I mean, that's why, that this is a good week for equality. This is the American cast right here.
Exactly.
It's the Americast.
I think that all bathrooms should be unisex. I think that chicks should be able to go in the guy's bathroom, and guys should be able to go in the girl's bathroom when it's not in use, so we can take a comfortable shit.
All right, this is America.
Do you think we should add an amendment for that, or do we have room for an amendment that we can add?
Like, we're full up on them.
Or we're all set on those. Isn't it fucking... Listen. Oh, wait, I can't do it this week. Well, maybe I can. Fuck it. Isn't it kind of weird that, like, all these old, like, antiquated laws and rules, like, even in religion and in government, like, how we're so steadfast on keeping them no matter what? It's like all this stuff that applied, like, so long ago, like, we refuse to fucking, like, update them to current days, Like in religion, you see a bunch of old antiquated shit, like, fucking rules that... nowadays it's like, do we really need to fucking still be talking about, like, masturbation's a sin, contraception's evil, homosexuality's evil, like, that kind of shit, like, I don't know, it's crazy that those rules are still around and they can't be updated with, like, the changing of times,
Especially, for a lot of them, people tend to, when, like, they're pushing them, people have an agenda behind them.
Right.
So...
And I mean,
it's not like they actually believe it. It's just they're like.
I guess you do see some of them changing, like marijuana's becoming illegal in some places.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess some of them do change.
The new pope's pretty open, dude.
A little, but he.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of a fucking front sometimes, though.
In context, but
yeah,
it is weird because I can't remember. I think it's the guy Sam Harris. I was reading one of his books where, like, it's so weird that it takes science and, like, if you look back at essentially even the time period where religion started to grow and, like, prosper and really kind of set its roots, like, people thought, like, the world was flat or we were the center of the sun, and, like, if you were to bring someone from that time period to now and talk to them about science, you'd be like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, I mean,
he would think we're a fucking idiot, or we would think
we would talk to them and be like, they don't know anything, like, we've evolved, like, we understand things completely different, like,
right.
But you still look at, like, religion, and if you were to bring someone, like, from then to the person who is, like, a religious scholar now, like, the ideals are exactly the same, like, they haven't evolved.
Yeah.
Unlike normal things.
I think that's almost like.
And it's the same with, like, our majority of our politics, I think.
Well, if you think about religion, right? Like,
America. Okay.
If you think about religion, and I'm talking good Christian American religion.
Yeah.
None of that
God bless.
bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, if you look at that, it's, from what I understand, fuck, I should know this, I'm Catholic, but, like, a lot of it, it's like, it's God's law, so, like, God's law is set in stone. All we can really do to update our view is is how we're interpreting it. So, like,
yeah,
to question it, you're questioning the divine.
I know what you mean.
And you can't question the divine. So.
Maybe it is a thing of, like, maybe instead of evolving religion, we evolve away from religion.
Maybe.
Like, I think that's why it's necessary. Like, religion is so fucking. Listen, I think that religion's good in some ways and awful in others. Like, some ways it's awesome. Like, some ways we need it and whatever. But without that shit, I think people that are, like, atheists or scientists or shit like that, like, really going against it, like, I don't know how to say it, but, like, it kind of forces people to think differently if you don't believe it, and it kind of, like, spurs them to push harder against it, and that's how, like, you evolve. Like, science and shit like that is like, I have to. I don't know how to say it. Do you know what I mean, though?
Well, yeah, no. What I was gonna say is that,
like, it kind of brings out, like, people to fucking to rally against it, and it kind of gives them motivation to push harder and figure out, like, why it's not true.
No, but there's two ways. Like, there's the whole you can try to figure out like so why like if you ever ask yourself like why is something the way it is? Well, science has its way of figuring it out, right? And then religion just says it's that. Well, people who misuse religion say that like it's that way because God's law. Like
Right.
the book ends at God, whereas science is like, well, let's figure out like it has to be a reason. There has to be a reason for why everything happens, and yeah. But that's two different applications. Like some of the biggest scientists in the world were, or some of the most important rather, scientists in the world were like religious scholars.
Yeah, at one point.
No, even
Still
now. Yeah, fuck Jesuits, man. You want to talk to some guy who knows their shit? Go talk to a Jesuit.
How can you?
Well, because
how can you believe in science if you believe that God created all? Like
because that's the misapplication. And I don't want to sound like the fucking church boy here, but I'm going to sound like the fucking church boy here. That's the misapplication of what a lot of people do with religion is that they have this basic idea of, or they choose not to think and they just go down to God. Like, God, the buck stops at God.
Yeah.
But then, like...
He's the answer to everything. Every question,
exactly.
He's the answer.
But, like, if... I can't speak for, like, a lot of the other Protestant sects. Like, when you start getting to Baptists and all that, it gets crazy. But, like... in Catholicism, what we believe anyways, is that, like, yeah, God is, like, this big and ever-present being. Like, he's not the end answer, though. He's just, like, the divine. But there's a whole bunch of, like, not, like, natural mysteries that we can figure out using science. So...
yeah, I mean, you understand where I'm coming from, though. It seems weird.
Yeah.
If you're a scientist, you're fucking supposed to question everything. Like, and
yeah, well,
if
even
you have an answer and that's God, then... You can't really you can't
just but that's not you can't test for God. That's faith. That's not science. Like the Vatican has an entire section devoted to just disproving God. Just a whole bunch of guys sitting in a room trying to metaphysically.
Are you sure about that?
I am 100% serious about this shit.
Then they should have then it should be like they should have a lot of answers for things
if you talk I've actually there's a book that I've been meaning to buy. I wish I could remember the name of it, but it's on my Amazon wish list. Where like one of the guys who did that, he wrote a book on it and just explains like how you come about it. And they're looking at it like from a philosophical and then like a metaphysical and all this other stuff, just trying to disprove the existence of God. And the funny thing is, like, could you imagine if they ever did that? Because then they'd just sit back and be like, "Well, fuck, like, what do we do from here?
Right?
Do we burn this?"
I mean, if you're a fucking scientist at the Vatican. All you have to do is just be like, all right, explain how fucking Noah's Ark could have happened, and they'd be like, oh,
okay.
now that's it. I have nothing.
So,
There's no way to explain it.
See, in that case,
it couldn't have
like,
happened.
A lot of the Old Testament, you have to understand, like a lot of the Bible, anyways, is kind of like allegories and stories. Like it's oral tradition that was written down. Like the entire Old Testament didn't happen. It didn't fucking happen. Yeah, the majority of the Old Testament did not happen. There's very likely not a Moses that went to Egypt.
Don't come in here with common sense.
This is not the place for this.
I mean, like the American
heretic.
Happened. Like the American Christian version.
The New Testament, right?
Yeah. No, well, that's not the New Testament, but
what is it?
The New Testament is like Jesus and all that stuff, but like the Old Testament is a lot of it like is allegory. So like Genesis in its entirety. Are we okay? Genesis in its entirety, if we're doing the good Christian American cast, is completely true. God did it all. Adam and Eve, they were together. If we're doing the realistic, skeptical, fucking Illuminati cast,
we're not.
Okay. Well, then I'll fucking end it at that. It's completely 100% true. God bless America.
You know, TDOC. I'm so fucking scared to look at the chat in Twitch right now because I know I'm fucking dumber than all this shit. Dude, let me say this.
Yeah, we're talking about pooping here.
It's really good because that's what we should be talking about. It's really hard to collect your thoughts into a microphone. Like, if me and Nakem were having a conversation face to face about this, I swear to God, it would be a lot more intelligent than it is right now. Just because it's so fucking hard, right? Because you're trying to collect your thoughts and you're trying not to have a bunch of fucking dead air where you're thinking. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, I'm not saying that this just happened. I'm just saying personally, like I'm like stumbling over words because I'm trying to just talk and fill the fucking void without actually thinking about what
I know what you're
it's so
trying to say.
fucking hard. I mean, it's a fucking challenging thing to do.
My stance was always, I mean, I don't believe it exists, and even if it does, like, the idea, like, if a God existed, like, it's so pretentious and, like, omniscient of him to expect us, like, to believe and subserve him, like, that automatically makes him, like, a terrible God. So, like, fuck that guy.
If a God existed, I would have to believe that.
Because, I mean, the only
he's
reason
not
to believe in him is out of, I mean, the only reason to, like, follow him is strictly out of, like, a subservient and, like, what's the word? Like, I can't think of the word, like, fear of punishment. Like,
benevolent? No, that's not the word,
well, I
is
mean,
it?
he would be benevolent, but, like, pragmatic. Like, for you, I mean, to have someone to essentially, like, if they did exist, be like, this is the way to live your life. If you don't, like, you're fucked. And, like, if that existed, be like, oh,
if there's a God that, and his rule is, like, if you do these things I tell you not to, and you're gonna go to hell and burn forever, like, that's a fucking pretty shitty God. Like, especially a God that not only he tells us that, but he doesn't tell us directly that. He tells fucking priests that, and they tell us, like, do we have no reason to believe that he exists? So, like, of course we fucking do things that are shitty and, like, and not too shitty. Like, all right, so, like, a guy like me, right? I've never killed anybody. I've never fucking, I don't know, like, whatever the most fucking worst sins you can do. I guess kill people would probably be it.
Fornicating like a fucking bastard.
But, like, I do that shit. If that's fucking crossing the line, then fuck it, dude. That's too much. You need to come to me directly. If a God stood in front of me right now and he said, Ryan, cut that shit out or you're gonna go to hell forever, you got it, dude. I'm done. I'm fucking done doing it. Like, that's all you need to do. Yeah, of course, because, like, that, then I know it's real. Then at least I know why I'm doing it. I can't go to church and see a guy.
Reason to do it. Like,
I can't turn on television and see a guy
that's
preaching.
Still not a reason to do it. Like, that's just doing it out of fear.
Yeah.
That's still fear.
But that's a reason.
Yeah,
that's not a reason. That's not inherent. That's not inherently creating good people.
No. His job is not creating good people. If this is what he cares about, that's not. He's not worried about creating good people. He's cared about, like, setting rules that we have to abide by. Like, I'm not saying he's a great God if he does that. I'm not saying he's the fucking. But he is a God, and I will respect that.
By that standard, he would be flawed, and
absolutely. Well, I don't want to go to hell forever, dude.
Yeah, but I mean that's your choice, and that's like that again. Like,
no, I'm not saying he's a great God. I'm not saying that. Like, I wouldn't be like.
My idea, like.
Yeah, no, I feel you, and I totally understand. But my thing is, with religion, I see people that are making a ton of money preaching this shit, and I'm like, this seems this seems fucking corrupt to me. Like, this does not seem like a fucking positive thing. Like, I like the Dalai Lama. Like, maybe I don't know anything about Dalai Lama, but he's like a guy that I look at. I'm like, he's not getting anything out of it. He might be. I don't know anything about him, but, like, when I see people like that, I'm like, that's true religion. Like, if you're fucking, like, you're living the actual thing and you're not getting anything back for it, that seems like fucking actual, like, goodness to me. When I see a dude on TV preaching and I see him in $1 million jet, that to me seems fucking evil. That seems wrong.
Nah, dude. Like, those guys are scumbags. Like, let's call them for what they are.
Like, that should be probably
scumbags. There's
in
people
a hell.
who will. There are people who will hide behind their religiousness to do bad shit.
Yeah, of course. We see that all the time.
And you can use, like, the whole God argument. Like, how does he let those? It's the classic. If God exists, why does he let good things happen to bad people, or bad things happen to good people, and vice versa?
Right.
Personally, I just think I'm like, as much as I fucking hate that book, I'm just going with God as a giant dog. When we die, we get to heaven. God is just a fucking giant dog that's pointing upon us and laughing. Like, you stupid fucks.
You don't really believe that, though, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, you don't think he's really a dog, right?
No, I do have this thought, like, when you just die, you like get to heaven in whatever form it is, right? It's just God sitting there just laughing his ass off, like, you guys are stupid fucks. Like, I cannot believe this is what you came up with. Really?
I have this theory that when you die, everything's gone and you sink back into the earth and become.
I've been raised in religion since birth. I can't accept that when you die,
there's nothing. Nikem, there is nothing.
realistically speaking, I know that's probably going to be the answer.
Not
but
probably. That is the
no,
answer.
like,
There is
100
nothing.
You're right. You're right. There's 100% sure that like that's going to be the answer. But like that part of me that just wants to believe that like when you die, okay, your body becomes like it's dead. But
There's nothing wrong
your
with being
spirit-
nothing.
Yeah.
Like if there's nothing, you do not feel
Yeah, but
sad.
it's-
You do not feel like
it's
you're
so
missing out. There's
it's
nothing.
it's so final.
It is
like,
so
I don't-
final.
I don't
It's the
think anybody-
greatest. It's the
I don't
greatest
think any-
reward.
No.
There's no sadness. There's no nothing. You don't feel anything. It's gone. You're gone
no,
completely.
That's terrible.
No, dude, you don't even know it.
That's terrible.
Like that's the thing. You're so fucking oblivious
And
to
also, if that's the case, I have wasted so much of my life in church.
it.
Like, so much.
You probably have. Yeah. Do you think God really would want us to fucking spend our little amount of time here fucking talking about his ass the entire fucking time? Like, is he that fucking narcissistic?
Nah, man, I only go to church when I'm back at home, like to see my mom.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
spending time with your
Fucking-
mom. That's different.
Fucking Sundays.
That's
Oh,
spending time with
God.
your mom, and that's important.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, what's really scary is my story.
Wait, I thought it was over.
No. I mean,
Okay.
it's not too scary, but I just had. So I got this. The back bathroom was open.
We're
So,
back. We just talked about. We just
No,
went
but I'm
from like homeless. We just went from the economics to fucking religion, and now
you
we're
guys took
going
over.
back.
You
We're
guys-
going back
you
to the
took over my
bathroom.
poop story.
I'm sorry, dude. We gotta fill time, man. I got nothing else this week.
No, it's fine. I'm saying
Okay,
so.
let's hear this. Come on.
So I go to the bathroom. I know there's only like one or two people in the office back there, but it's fine. So I lock the door, and I go to sit down, but I have like this strange. It's like I don't know. Yeah. So I took my cell phone out. Like I started to pull my pants down, but I like stood back up and took my cell phone out, and I said like this weird feeling. And as I did, the door opened a little.
Wait. Can I
And I
interrupt?
hadn't-
Can I interrupt
What's
just
that?
for a second?
Yeah,
You were about to take the shit. You
I was about
got
to like pull all the way down and sit down.
you got a feeling like you felt something.
Yeah.
Stood up, pulled your pants up, took out your phone.
Well, yeah, they weren't all the way down yet, so I took my phone out, and then the door opened, and what happened is I must have pushed and locked before it, like, closed all the way.
Got it.
So I would have, like, had sat down, and the door would have just flown open if I hadn't had that, like, premonition
Right.
and stood back up. And, like,
That's God.
I've been in like car accidents, and I've been like where I've had like close calls, and it was like the same feeling. My heart was like racing.
Right.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
oh my
Yeah.
god, I almost sat down with the door because like, what are you gonna do at that point?
How do you
I
explain
would have had
that?
to get up. Yeah,
Wait, did anyone open the door, or was it just opening on its own?
it just opened on its own. I didn't push it. Like I locked it, but I must have like locked as I pushed.
Right. How do you explain that? Just you sensed, or you kind of knew that you fucked up? Is that it?
No. You're right. You had it right the first time. It was God.
It's God?
Yeah, God like reached down.
So they're saving poops.
Just like no one wants to see that shit. No one
God's
wants
like,
to see that shit, Kyle.
Should I?
Not
should
yet.
I,
Not yet,
I-
my son.
Should I create rains in Africa or save this kid from pooping with the door open?
Pooping
Fucking-
the
dude,
door
Pooping with the door
cracked.
open.
It's the American God looking out for the American people.
It's George Washington's spirit.
Yeah.
So I had the thing. So even though I don't know if this is gonna be interesting, but
Yo, stop touching your mic, Nikem.
Oh shit, sorry man.
Jesus.
But,
Go ahead.
so in work, I got a new client. I have to be like real careful about how I talk about stuff because I could actually like get arrested. Or,
Right.
Actually,
Nobody
get killed
listens
for
to
it.
this. It's fine.
So anyway, so I have a client. They happen to be an immigrant. They've been in this country for like 40 years. They told me he came from Iran. This whole thing, came over on asylum, all this stuff. So he's having like an issue where part of his I don't even say it. Part of the money he had coming in was cut off. So he got like an immigration lawyer. So I took him to this immigration lawyer. This dude's telling me like his whole story on the ride there. Like drove him there. We're like in the office, and he's telling me like this whole story about his life and like all this like crazy shit about like what happened there. His like dad was murdered and like all this stuff, and he like fled because he was a Christian and like all this stuff. So he's telling me all these facts. So we get into the lawyer's office, and this dude had like already started the research. He like contacted the FBI, got the file on him, did the like Freedom of Information Act, so like got everything Homeland Security had on and all that stuff, so he could essentially apply for like real asylum. And I mean, he's like technically a citizen, like he has like a social security, all that stuff, but like legit stuff. Did he speak English well? Yeah, he speaks pretty well. Not great, but so anyway, so like it's pretty crazy like what the FBI and all that stuff like has on people.
Mm-hmm.
So he started going through like the facts with this guy because he's gonna have to go in front of like a board and present his case. And he's like, all right, so like the FBI says for some reason it says you were born in like Italy. And the dude's like flipping out. He's like, no, I've never been to Italy, like all this shit. He's like getting real mad. And then there'd be stuff like, so I mean, you speak Syrian. He's like, no, I don't speak Syrian at all. Like I speak Farsi and I'm Babylonian. He's like all these dead languages. But then like 10 minutes later in the conversation, he'd say something about like speaking Syrian. And the lawyer's like, dude, you just said you don't speak Syrian. And the lawyer would like look at me. He's like, he said that, right? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. So he's like all these like weird inconsistencies. Like he had all these like arrests come up and stuff. He's like, oh, that didn't happen. All this weird stuff. So like I was just chalking it up to, when he came over, like this, missing like at the time he came over, he didn't speak or read English, so like maybe
Right.
stuff got like translated wrong, all that stuff. So he came over to me. He got referred to me from this other organization. So I'm going through like an intake he did like 2 years ago, and at one point it asked like, what's your primary language? And he wrote English because at this point that's what he speaks and reads. But his secondary, and this is like 3-4 years ago he wrote this. His secondary, he wrote Italian.
The fuck?
Yeah, and there's like, so I mean it's probably, it's really not that interesting of a story, but like, just like I'm in the office like with this dude. I'm like, how weird would it be like if this dude was like not who he said he was?
It doesn't sound like he is, right? I mean, like,
yeah, it's really fucking weird. Like,
why would it be a bad thing for him to have been born in it? Like, why would he want to lie about that?
If he was born in Italy, you couldn't apply for asylum.
Okay,
Because
see, I mean, that's probably
if you're
why.
Christian Italian, I mean, he essentially came over here with his family, and he applied for asylum under the like conditions that he was a Catholic, like a Syrian, and obviously in Iran, like they kill Catholics.
Right.
So he came over here like the idea that he was fearing for his life. When he was a kid, his dad was murdered for that stuff. So like that was the idea. So like if there's like all these things out there that are like he's actually Italian, like
He's just an Italian dude.
yeah, but then he would get I don't think he would get deported. He might, but I don't know.
So, but you think he's just some Italian dude?
I don't know. I don't really
Is
know.
that
Like, he's like telling me he has all these like arrests coming up, and he like told me he ran someone over with like a forklift. But then he's like, no, I'm like a real nice guy, and he's like, I just get mad sometimes. And he's
Jesus.
like, but like we're in the thing, and he's like, the guy's like pulling up all the stuff like the FBI has on him.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if like this is like legit dude came over from another country like with like this weird background, and I don't know.
Yeah,
It's pretty interesting, like all the shit they actually have on you, like just pulling up documents that this dude might have like signed like 20 years ago. Like they have it.
just from like Homeland Security or some shit.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you can apply for it for your own, like what they have on you under the Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah, they have to give you everything. Probably not, right?
I don't know if they have to give you everything. You can apply for, and you can petition like what you want, and
Right.
like approve it. But
I want my nudes if they got those, cause I got a new phone. I lost my old phone, so I want my nudes if they have those.
they're definitely out there. I was thinking about that. Like,
I need those.
Like at some point, like it'd be nice if you could recall like 6 years ago when I had a lot
Yeah,
of it's coming in.
a lot of good ones
I
coming
have
in.
videos coming in. Like
Yeah, I got some videos out
I
there,
gotta
or
build
Homeland
Google
Security
Drive.
has them, or CIA has them, or someone has them, but I don't have them anymore. I would like
should
them.
petition, like we need to build Google's library. I definitely know I had
Yeah.
a few brunettes.
I know I had some good ones. I had 2 brunettes that I'm looking for. And I'm looking for one of the redheads. I want one of the redheads. They're like, which one, sir? Like, The bustier one, you know which one. The one with the bigger titties. Not the flat one. They give you the flat one. You're like, not this one.
I don't want this one.
The bustier one from 2 years later.
Wow.
Like, yeah, we got it. Dude, I was talking to... So, I hung out with this girl 2 nights ago. And she told me... So, alright, so we're on a date. There's 2 things that she told me. One of them's not that interesting. So she told me, like, her friend just went out on a date with this dude who ended up being really nice. But I guess, like, as they were about to have sex, the dude made this request where he's like, do you think we could, like, maybe you could piss in your panties for me?
Wow.
And, like, so she brought it up to me kind of like, can you believe that he asked that shit? And I was like, no, that's fucking crazy. And we, like, got to talking, and I was like, would you do that? Like, if somebody, like, if you liked a guy, or, you know, if you were, like, attracted to a guy, like, would you consider doing that? She's like, I don't know. Probably. Would you? Or would you, like, piss on me if I wanted you to? I was like, yeah, I probably would, just for the story. Like, I don't see why not. There was a lot of discussion about it, dude, and I think if I had pushed for it, it would have fucking happened. Like, do you think you would you do that if some chick, so you're hooking up with a chick, you fucking think she's hot, she wants you to piss on her? Would you do it? Like, I don't see why not, right?
Well, here, let's set up the situation here. Am I going to see her again, or is it just be like a one-time thing?
You don't know. I mean, whatever you want to do. It's just a chick you just met. Like, you don't have. I mean, this
if
is
I
like.
were going to piss on a girl,
Yeah.
I'm never seeing that girl again.
Why?
Like, if she specifically, because I don't need to be known as the guy I don't need to be known as the guy who fucking R. Kelly'd a chick. Like.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, she's asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
No one's gonna fucking believe you. Like, oh.
No.
Yeah,
You
but
know, no one needs to believe you. I mean, I don't think there's a big issue. I think it would be like, I think that's a fucking story right there. It'd be like, yo, I pissed on a chick once.
Yeah,
Like, do you think your friends would, like, fucking, like, blackball you for that shit?
I don't think my friends. I'm thinking, like, my reputation. Like, what if she knows a girl who knows her, like, a super hot girl that I actually have a chance with?
Cam, you don't have a chance with a super hot girl. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, whatever. It's like, yeah, she asked me to piss on her, I pissed on her. Like, what the fuck,
I mean,
man?
that's the thing. So
I'm GGG.
Say at this point it's a one night stand. You don't know. Like, this could go well, this could go bad. But either way, like, you piss on her. It's just a one night stand. You don't have to ever worry about it again.
Right.
But say it does work out and you, like, see her again, like, that could lead to the door of that. Like, that's like a ritual, and, like, that'd be fine at that point, right? Like, that's something you guys are into, so that's not even weird then.
Well, but see, that's the thing. Are you really into it? Like, she's into it, and you did it just once because it was, like, for a story. But, like,
yeah, but I mean, if you are or you aren't, you just tell her, like.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
I mean, at that point, like, pissing on someone, I imagine, is, like, pretty high on, like, I don't want to say the weird things, but, like,
it seems pretty varsity, right? It seems like kind of
yeah. So, like,
advanced.
At that point, like, if you're like, oh, I'm not into it or whatever, or, like, let's do something else, like, she's not going to be, I don't think she'd be offended. Like, and that, like, sets the bar pretty high that, like, you have an open door for other stuff, I'd imagine.
Maybe.
I would have done it. If she really wanted me to do it, I would have done it. But the thing is, like, I had to piss really bad that night, and I wouldn't be able to stop probably. Like, that's when it gets weird, is like when you keep pissing and you're like, I can't stop, like, right now. This is going to take a little while.
Here's a technical question. When do you do it? Because, I mean, and I guess this would be like, I guess if it does, like, turn you on, like, you can't piss with a boner. I mean, you can, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, you can. It's not comfortable, but
I mean, is that when you'd have to do it? Like, it would be really hard, right?
I mean, it'd be hard not to have a boner when you're doing
I
it.
imagine it'd be the second pants come off, like, pee has to happen then.
You don't want to give her a limp one, do you?
Well, no, like, so you've been making out for a while, like, you're sporting, like, a half chub or something like that,
Yeah.
and then she asks you to pee on her, and, like, you whip it out, you pee on her, and then, like, that turns you on, so you get the full chub, then you fuck her with it. That's how I imagine it would have to go down with it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There was a lot of discussion. I would say it almost happened. Like, I would say it could have happened that night.
I think it's one of those things that, like, it'd be hot, not even hot, but, like, it'd be a thing that happened at the moment, but the second it was done, you would just feel disgusting.
I think it would be weird. Like, I think it would seem it's one of those ones where it's like, okay, this is gonna be cool, and then during when you can't stop the stream and you're like, this is taking longer than it probably should. Like, I'm still pissing.
Big piss.
Yeah.
There's just that momentary dead silence.
You really need like a quick piss, like a quick light one, and you're like, there it goes. You fucking got pissed on, stupid. All right, I don't think you would call her stupid, but.
She got the end of that. Here's a question for you. I just realized this. So this weekend, there's a girl that I used to hook up with when I was back in school, like back in university. Little older than me, super hot. Yeah. Well, I was 22, and I think she was 20, 25, 26. Anyways, super hot. Best sex I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah. I got one of those. I know.
Yeah. She got married recently.
Yeah.
So her surprise birthday party is coming up. I haven't seen this girl in like years. But her husband, like, we know each other through mutual acquaintances, and I guess her husband, like her new husband, knows about me again through mutual acquaintances. So he invited me through a friend of mine to come to her surprise party. Do I go?
Does he know that you fucked her?
I don't know.
No, I would just stay out of that. Like, and I mean, unless you guys are still tight, would it be weird if you? All right, nah, I would definitely wouldn't go. No fucking way.
Again, like, I haven't talked to her in a good 2 years.
No. Because she's gonna look at you and go, "What the fuck is he doing here?"
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when they got married, apparently she asked about me, and then the only reason why, like, the mutual friend knows that I slept with her was because she told her. So, like, she still remembers me, and she still knows, like, what we did.
Yeah, right. Nah, I wouldn't go. That's just asking for trouble. You have no reason to go. It's not like you're gonna get laid.
Nah.
Yeah, if she was single, I would say fuck yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, if she was single, this wouldn't be a conversation.
Married, no. Let me see. Catfish Jenny says, "Yo, Ryan, do you think she was just trying to bring it up delicately that she wanted to, or she was genuinely curious on your take?" You know, I got the sense that she actually wanted me to piss on her a little bit. Because I think she was bringing up a lot of stories and shit like that, but she brought it up a couple times during the night, and it was almost like, she asked me at one point, she's like, "So if I dare you to do something, you're gonna do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And she goes, "What if I canceled the dare, like, before it was about to happen?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, you could do that." And then she didn't ask me again, but I think she was definitely definitely checking if I was gonna piss on her. I would have done it. I'm telling you right now, I would have fucking done it just for the story. Like, I didn't think it wouldn't even turn me on, but I would have done it just for the fucking story.
Here's the question: where do you piss on her? Like, I'm guessing you take her to the shower and pee on her, right? Yeah,
definitely, 100%. I'm not pissing in my fucking bed. That's for sure.
What if that's the stipulation? She's like, no,
we're not doing it.
Right here,
we're not doing it. We're not doing it in my bed or anywhere other than my shower. It's not happening.
What did you do with the squirter after you were done with her? Like, did you just like do your laundry after? Or?
No, it's still here, just with every other fucking germ that's in my bed.
You're disgusting. What
am I supposed to fucking do, Nakem? Do laundry immediately?
Yes.
No, that's ridiculous, Nakem.
If she was that much for squirter, I would have been like, hold on a second, let me just toss this in the fucking laundry machine.
It's not that easy in New York City. You got to go to a fucking laundromat and do it.
Okay, yeah, I guess you don't have one in your building.
If I had a laundry machine, trust me, yeah, I would have fucking done it for sure. But I got to go to the laundromat and drop it off to some Asian people and then come back a fucking day later and get it. It's like, it's too much work, man. Fuck that shit.
A fucking day later? Seriously?
Yeah, it takes a fucking day if they get it done during that day. Trust me, it's not great here.
That is crazy as balls.
Guys, before we go books, Googler's intern Ryan.
Mm-hmm. He's TDOC's intern. He's not officially Googler's intern.
I mean, Googler's is a subsidiary of subsidiary of TDOC.
Not officially.
It's pretty official.
Not officially.
We didn't go public yet, but
I didn't sign anything.
I mean, we don't have to talk about it right now. But building on his idea, part 2 of Googlers. Anytime you get a nude, we upload it to a drive for you. That way.
Okay, this is not. Let me fucking state for the fucking record. Anything Kyle is saying right now is a joke. It is not real. There is no fucking drive. There is no nudes being uploaded to any. Not ever.
Building our part.
This is fucking. Let me just say, legal speak. Everything that's happening right now is satire. It's not fucking real. Go ahead, Kyle.
but it is trademarked, so don't.
It's not trademarked either.
Yes.
It does not exist.
So you get a nude from a girl, automatically part of your Googler service. You upload that to that. We'll keep it on your drive. That way, like from now on throughout history, like you get a Googler's drive. You got all the nudes you got saved.
No, this sounds impregnable. This sounds impregnable.
No, dude. You know what the problem with that is? So imagine, let me posit to you this situation. So you're in OKC, right? And this hot little 18-year-old messages you.
Oh my god, I need to state again. This is not fucking real. Anything Nikem's about to say, not real.
The Googlers would not be responsible for.
No, but see, they would. So like a hot 18-year-old messages you, and she's like, "Yo, whatever." You start
I'm getting
talking,
so uncomfortable. This is like, worse than last week. I'm more uncomfortable right now than I was last week talking about fucking.
It's gonna get worse. So yeah, so you guys start messaging back and forth, and you're under the guise that she's 18. And then like it later comes out that motherfucker was like 16, and she was sending you nudes. These nudes. So not only are you on the hook for child pornography, but you're also on the hook for distributing child pornography because it's going to the Google.
I gotta cut this from the cast. I'm so fucking uncomfortable right now.
She's in trouble for distributing.
Oh, everybody's in trouble. Like
nobody's in trouble. It does not exist. It's not real. Nobody's in trouble.
No, but
all right?
in real life, that's who gets in trouble is her.
It's both parties.
No, it's both parties. Yeah, you can't.
Even if it's unsolicited.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't be in possession of that shit.
Why wouldn't you just do that forever then? Why wouldn't you just do that to get people in trouble?
It's different if you're fucking like. I mean, if they have the fucking chat logs and it looks like you were asking for that shit. If don't fucking guys, I don't fucking like this shit at all. FBI is definitely in this chat. Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying.
Fuck.
I don't want my.
This shit is making me really uncomfortable. I don't like talking about it. I'm just saying, in that case, if it looks like you were soliciting it.
Just got kicked out of Twitch.
Yeah, this cast has gone deep into the shit abyss. I agree, Ian. This is fucking terrible conversation. I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable.
I'm just saying it was.
No more talk about Googlers until it's finalized, and it'll never be finalized. It does not exist. Googlers does not exist. It never will exist.
God bless America.
God bless fucking America.
Yeah, it won't. Googlers in itself will come up with a better name.
It's not. And if it ever did exist, it wouldn't ever exist. But if it ever did in some fantasy land, it would not have this fucking drive that Kyle's talking about. That is the worst fucking idea.
You just said you wish you had.
Yeah, me personally, not a company that has the fucking access to these.
Yeah, but you wouldn't share them. Like, it wouldn't be everyone accesses your drive.
Oh, please. If I worked at a company like that was like, yo, we have the nudes of fucking all these guys that are receiving it. Like, I guarantee you, I have this theory that everybody at Snapchat is just fucking going through and looking through everybody's snaps.
Of course. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Like, just when they're bored, they're just like, I wonder who's sending what, and they just have like a fucking picture roll of fucking snaps going, and all them girls who are sending like their boyfriends or who randos like snaps are actually being seen and probably laughed at by the entire Snapchat office. That's why I don't trust anybody who's like, let me hold your pictures.
Yeah, but who at this point, who doesn't like know they're entering into? I mean, if you're on Tinder, like, using like nudes as whatever they're called, the moments or whatever, like that shit's going on r/Tinder, and you know that, like, when you participate.
People are doing that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I had no. What the fuck? I haven't been on Tinder for a while, so I had no fuck. When the hell did this shit start?
Nikem's dick's gonna be on r/Tinder.
Nikem's dick is like at least 18 posts on there right now.
I am so fucked.
Alright, let's talk about fucking comic books.
Alright.
There's a lot of actually pretty fucking good books this week, or at least new books. Let's talk about Chrononauts, number 1. Mark Millar, Sean Gordon Murphy. This is a new book from Image. Alright, so Chrononauts is about these two guys, or at least one guy and his buddy or whatever. They essentially create time travel. They start by sending back a satellite in time and like videotaping the fucking Civil War or some shit. They advance it till finally they make a suit that can go back in time. So they both put on these suits that can travel through time. The first guy goes through and there's a problem with it. He gets knocked off course and he ends up I don't remember where exactly, but in a time where he wasn't supposed to end up. So his buddy, the other guy that was supposed to be testing it, is like, I'm going to go after him. He goes in after him, and I don't know if he ends up in the same time that he was supposed to with the other guy, or if he's in a separate time too. It's not really clear if he made it to the time he intended to save his friend. He didn't, right?
No, he didn't.
Are you sure?
I'm almost 100% sure of that.
Alright, so anyways, he ends up in the fucking, like a middle of some war or some shit, like a shitty situation. It kind of feels like a little bit like Black Science to me, sort of, in a way, with the time traveling, but in Black Science you're going to different planets and shit like that.
In the same place. Same 1504.
Yeah, so he ended up in the same place.
Okay.
But he's not with his friend. He doesn't see his friend there right away. He's like in the middle of this war, so
yeah.
It felt a little bit like Black Science to me, just the idea of time traveling and the unknown of where you're going, that part of it. But obviously they're not going to different worlds. They're staying on Earth and they're just going back in time. I thought it was fucking really good. I don't know. It didn't have the same Millar. I didn't think it pushed it as much as usually his books do. I thought this one was pretty like straight up. But it was good. I mean, Mark Millar, even if you don't always like him, at least he writes
something different
He writes something different every time. Yeah, and it's usually pretty well accepted. Like, even if you personally don't like it, it usually does pretty well. So
let me ask you this though: do you feel that time travel is becoming the new zombies?
It's always been that way, right? Like, it's
I don't know, man. Like, for the last since I started doing this cast, I swear to God, every week we read a new #1 that's a fucking time travel book. So maybe I just haven't been cognizant of the fact that.
I mean, it's fucking cliche. It's all over. I totally agree with you. I'm not saying it's not. Yeah. But I just think it's been that way for a while. But yeah, no, I feel what you're saying. Yeah.
Maybe we just need to space this all out. But like between this, we read something last week that had fucking time travel in it. Like, find a new plot device, people. It's a good. Like, I like this book. I actually do. Out of all.
It is like it's like a sci-fi standby. Yeah. The time travel,
it really is. But that's what I'm saying. There's other sci-fi standbys. Like,
yeah, there is.
Yeah. But out of all the. I guess this is probably the highest praise I can give it. Out of all the time travel books that we've been reading lately, that I've been kind of just twiddling my thumbs about, I think this is the one that I'm going to be following monthly, or whenever the fuck it's coming out, because it's Mark Millar, and that guy can't keep schedule.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, I think this one's the best. Like, I like the art, it's Murphy.
The art's fucking amazing, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, I like the art. I like the cognizant, like, the story. There's this page where, one of the guys is like, they're bro scientists, so like there's one part where they're saying like when we get back from this time travel thing, we're gonna be banging every co-ed from Timbuktu to whatever, right? And like the other guy just turns to him and is like, yo, you understand that we're broadcasting this shit live? And he's just like, yeah, I know. And then the next panel is like a whole bunch of nuns and shit, and they're like scandalously clutching their rosaries, and just in the background there's this one priest that's doing the fucking gun fingers.
Right, yeah.
Funny, like, I laughed out loud when I saw that shit. That like, I like this book. It's really good.
It had some moments, and like, I almost feel, I don't know how much of that Millar wrote and how much of it Sean Murphy put in there. Like the scene in the strip club. Like, it seems weird that Millar would be like, okay, here's the scene in the strip club. Put the TV on and have this. It just like seemed kind of. I mean, that's what made it fucking interesting. It was just jumping all around the place, but.
Yeah, I actually really like how they were broadcasting all that, and they're like making a big deal, like it's like the next space.
I thought it was well done. I didn't think there was too much exposition. Like, I think it was explained pretty quickly, and we did the satellite thing, which was cool. I mean, that's a cool take on it, is like sending a satellite first, which makes sense. Before you send like humans through, you would send.
It felt like it was real science.
Yeah, it felt cool. I don't know. And then the characters were the two characters, the main characters were interesting, and one of them, I mean, they're really different, so that's always good. I don't know. I liked it a lot.
Sold me on it. It felt like what was that book we were reading for a while? FBP?
Yeah.
Like, the reason I liked that book was mainly those guys. That's what, like, these two were enjoyable. What's that?
Wasn't that Millar as well? FBP?
No.
I can't remember. No, yeah. So, and like you said, I liked it where they could have spent, like, a lot of time explaining the time travel. Like, they just fucking, like, blew through it.
Yeah, I mean, that's you don't need to.
You don't need to know the science. Like, time travel, it's a thing.
I think that's what kind of bugged me about BP a little bit is there was a lot of exposition, a lot of explanation on how this shit exists, because it's a lot different. I mean, it's more confusing than simple time travel. You know, you kind of have to.
I mean, it wasn't time travel.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It was like way more fucking confusing. You had to, and I think that book lost me a little bit in all that explanation. Like, but I think this was better because it really focused on the characters, which was the interesting part of the book. So I don't know. It was pretty good. Frankenstein Underground, @1. I think this is the book.
I can't find PDF for this anymore.
No, I know. They fucking took it down. I think that's why. At least
I had it for like the longest time.
Yeah, the download link doesn't work, and they didn't put it in the Dark Horse this week. Or yeah, I don't know why. But so this is a Mike Mignola book. It's about almost like a collector, I guess. He like collects like occult, like macabre type fucking artifacts. He finds Frankenstein through this magic mirror thing, and he decides that he wants Frankenstein to be part of his collection. Like, he has these like demons and like vampires, and he's got a hunchback, and like he's got all these like he's almost like the collector, you know, if you've seen the Marvel movies or whatever. It's the same kind of idea, at least that's how I accepted it. And it's like he has them under control. I think he's using some ring to control them. It's not really a big part of it, but he does kind of like, he does hint at that he has control over these fucking whatever's in his fucking collection. So he wants Frankenstein. He sends this I think she's like a demon, some kind of a demonic fucking chick after Frankenstein. I don't know, it's the way that I just explained it sounds kind of probably stupid, but it's fucking Mike Mignola. It's super well researched. He's putting in it all this old stories and old references from all these old fucking, you know, God knows where he gets these fucking references from, like demonic fucking books and shit like that. Like, he references some encyclopedia of demons that I had to Google, and it actually fucking exists in some really weird like fucking archive in the internet. Like, all this shit is super fucking well researched. I think Mike Mignola, and I was thinking about this, I think he's one of the great American writers, like the most fucking underappreciated American writer that there is. Like, the way that he writes it, he writes a lot of the same shit. Like, it's kind of all in the same vein, you know. At least his Dark Horse, like Hellboy verse type shit, like BPRD and Hellboy. But it's all so fucking well researched, so well written. The characters are all fucking unique. I think he's one of the greatest writers, at least one of the greatest comic book writers, if not one of the greatest like American writers out there right now. And I think he's underappreciated by, I don't know, people that appreciate fucking writing, just because he does comic books mostly.
Either that, or I think it's taken for granted, like how, like his, I mean, even relating it back to like Millar, like Millar puts out a lot of good books, and usually they're all pretty original, but I mean, they're all hit or miss. Like, you kind of don't know what you get, but like Mignola's just like a constant, like,
it's always fucking good.
Yeah, it's like everything is the fucking, like,
but you know what it is Millar fucking toots his own horn. Like, Millar is Millar's biggest fucking fan. Mike Mignola, you can barely get the dude for a fucking interview. Like, he doesn't give it, like, he writes good stuff, but he's not like Mignola verse, like on the back of his fucking books, and like, you know, giant picture of Mike Mignola on the back of the fucking book. Like, that's just not his style. He's just like, I'm gonna quietly put out some of the best comic books that people aren't reading, or like that a lot of people aren't reading. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I feel like if he was fucking as big as Mark Millar was about himself, then he would be as appreciated as Mark Millar is. I'm not saying he's not appreciated, but like, if you talk to people, they're not reading fucking Hellboy.
But do you think that's, like, this is what I wanted to ask, like, do you think that's because of the subject matter, or is it, because like I read this, I liked it, but I don't give any kind of a shit about Hellboy. I know I should. Like, it's like one of the staples of good comic books, but I just don't care. It never interested me.
It's because it all feels like you're on the outside. Like, if you pick up Hellboy in Hell, which nobody will, because they're like, holy shit, I don't know anything about Hellboy, why I can't just jump in here. Like, it feels like it's too far gone. It has that big number fucking syndrome that scares people, you know?
That's what he does so well, is you can pick up Hellboy in Hell. You
can totally, but people don't.
Fine, because I mean, and I think that is part of what's intimidating. Because obviously, if you want to like start Hellboy and you look, I mean, there's like 5 library editions, and like BPRD, there's 4 omnibuses out. But again, you can pick up almost any single one of the trades, and they read because he tells them in stories, and like Hellboy is all about just like parts of like Hellboy's life, and there is an overarching like story, but you can't. I mean, even so Ben Steinbeck does the art for this, which is fucking amazing. Like, he did the work on Baltimore, and that's all Baltimore is. It's just like small stories of this dude's life. It happens to tell a bigger story, but you can pick up anything, and like to be able to do that and tell an interesting story like every time, and that's like he has never told a bad story is like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's fucking nuts, but it is intimidating for new readers. Like to jump in, just because they're like, why would I do that? I can read, I can read like, X-Men #1 instead.
Art like, did you ever see that movie Atlantis?
I don't think so.
At Disney, you don't watch cartoons.
No.
Like no, I know. That's actually one of the better ones that I'm pretty sure it tanked though.
Yeah, but Mignola did like a lot of the fucking art and like world building.
Word.
But if you watch it, a lot of mechanical shit.
I'm thinking back to it. It seems. I can see that.
So Frankenstein Underground, I say it's fucking. I say buy it if you're into like the occult, or if you just want a good story that's focused around old myths and old legends and shit. Like, pick up any fucking Mignola book. This is a good place to start as any.
I mean, the thing we always say. I mean, like, this is a book. Obviously, it's going to read better in trade. Same with Hellboy and Hell, but and I think it's one of those ones you don't have to feel bad about that, because I've talked to people. Like, I've talked to Ben Steinbeck, and even if Hellboy or a book like this doesn't necessarily sell well, like they're never not going to put out a Mignola book.
Right.
Like, he is like carte blanche to put out whatever he wants at Dark Horse.
Yeah, of course.
Because like he makes them their money. Like,
yeah.
So
I mean, I think everybody out there, if you listen to TDOC, go buy fucking Hellboy Volume 1 and just fucking read that shit. You'll be blown away. It's fucking amazing.
Because obviously now, like, he's very selective when he does the art. He did Hellboy and Hell, but he doesn't do a lot of the art. I mean, he gets a pretty amazing stable, and even like James Herron or like Ben Steinbeck or all those guys.
Yeah.
But like, to look at Hellboy and Hell, like that first Hellboy, the first one, like Seed of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking amazing, because even back then, like, it's a lot different. Like, me and you love
Cosmic Odyssey.
Yeah, it's fucking, his Batman is one of the best Batman.
Cosmic Odyssey is like probably my favorite superhero comic, I think. Maybe. Go buy that too if you haven't read that shit. I think it's by Starlin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. Invisible Republic, issue #1 by husband and wife Gabriel Hardman, Karina Bechko, and art's by, well, I think colors are by Jordan Boyd.
By Jordan,
yeah, 'cause fucking Hardman did the art. Dude, when Hardman did fucking art for Hulk, remember that shit? Did you read that?
Yeah, with
Jeff Parker wrote it. Yeah, MODOK.
Right?
Oh, fuck, man. That's when I really fucking was like...
That's a long time ago.
Jeff Hardman's no fucking joke. Like, I would love to see him do superhero shit again. I don't know. Like, I mean, he does this shit well, but there's something about seeing him draw, like, classic superheroes, like fucking Hulk and shit, that's just, like, nobody fucking does it like that. Nobody does it better than that shit. And fucking, of course, MODOK. This is a book that takes place in the future. It's a sci-fi book. Alright, so this is a world that's like, it's in the shitter. There was a diplomat at one, or a dictator at one point, that fucking pretty much ran the place into the ground. I mean, that's my understanding of it. Like, he was the beginning of the fucking downfall of this civilization. Now everyone's really in the shitter. Everyone's poor. There's no one to clean up the streets, and like, shit's fucking bad. So there's a reporter that's the main character in the story. He's sort of piecing together information about maybe what happened, and I don't think that people talk about it because people maybe don't care anymore about it, or like, things just too bad for them to even like give a shit. They're just trying to survive at this point. He's looking for information about what happened, and he stumbles upon this journal of the dictator's cousin or some shit that we find, and she was with him when he started to rise to power, when she like first noticed that he was maybe a little bit different than she thought he was, maybe more ruthless than she thought he was. So like, that's kind of the story. It's like told through her journal, what happened, I guess, to this world, like how it fucking fell from whatever it was before. I don't know. It was good. It was really well written. I thought the art was fucking amazing. The story, I think it could be really interesting. I don't think the first issue really gave me enough to get really invested in the story. Maybe I can see that there is a lot here and it could be really cool, but the first issue, I don't know if it really hooked me too much, other than me just knowing these creators and being like, okay, this is probably going to be good. But I don't think the first issue really hooked me too much.
I really like the storytelling device of like it's his story told through like these like the eyes of somebody that no one ever knew existed.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what caught me, and probably gonna keep reading it because of that. It actually reminded me a lot of Brad Wood's DMZ.
Okay, yeah, I didn't read it.
You never read DMZ?
I tried and I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. No, I really liked DMZ when I read it, and this was giving me vibes of that. So I think I'm gonna keep reading it. It's one of those things that is, I think it's either gonna get like I don't know. I want to know like what happened. Like, how did this guy go from being like this dictator who probably kept shit together to like this dude that's beating up on like who's living off the land and beating up on.
It's just a story of like a guy that he like got pushed too far. It seems like at some point he was like, all right, I'm not taking this shit anymore. I'm gonna do something about it. And like, because I mean we see his interaction with some people that mean him harm. I think they're like fucking army or some shit, and he's like, all right, that's enough.
One thing I hope that they don't do, and I have a feeling they're probably gonna do, is I just want to hear the guy's story. I don't give a shit about the reporter. Like, I truly and honestly don't. But I have a feeling they're probably gonna do like a duel. They're gonna go back and forth.
I think so. I think he's the B story. Yeah.
Yeah, and
it ends with him like coming out.
On the phone. Yeah,
it could be interesting, like people trying to shut him down from telling the story that he's trying to tell. Like he's sort of on the lam while he's trying to figure out or piece together. Like it could be kind of.
I'm just saying that the B story could really, because like the beginning of the book, I was like, I'm not hooked. But then as soon as they got to the whole point, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Mm-hmm. So like I'm more interested in the A storyline than I am the B storyline, and I want to see how it goes on from there. Mm-hmm. But I can see the B storyline being like a huge drag. I don't know. Pick it up. It's a good story. It's a good book, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, because I would like to see too, because obviously this dude's not in power anymore anyway. So I would like to see if that story changes. Like, what is even the point at that point? Like, if something happened in the backstory that could even alter this dude's current like setting, like,
right.
Or if it is just this reporter like trying to tell this story.
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately, like, that guy's not power anymore, so it's not like he can like bring down this dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like I didn't like it. I did. I just don't know if there was enough in the first issue to hook people that don't know this team. Like, because they've put out some really good books that I've read. Like the Planet of the Apes shit was really fucking solid, and
they do a lot of this.
I read some other indie book. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of
political. And they do
yeah.
What's that?
I have a book by them that I can't think of the name of it. It's not like it's like an indie book.
The Deep Space.
The crab one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the name of it, but that was fucking awesome too. Yeah. Anyways, it was good. Pick it up. I want to do Strange Sports Stories, issue number 1. Did you buy this, Nikem?
No, wait. Yes, I did. It's a
$5 book.
Yeah, I know, and I wasn't really happy about that.
I don't think I got $5 worth. I mean, all right. It's really expensive for. I didn't think it was that much longer than like a $4 like a $3 book. I don't know. Maybe it was. This is 4 different stories. Loosely, I guess they are all about sports. I thought the last one was a little loosely based on sports, but they're all about sports. They're all by different creators. Some of them more well known than others. Like Gilbert Hernandez does one, and I think like Mark Ivan does one. I'm pretty sure. some of them hit better than others. I thought the one that I really enjoyed is the like there's this fuck. So there's like a hockey tournament that happens, and it's like the whole idea of the hockey game is like it's these prisoners versus these fucking hockey like almost like fucking executioners almost, and throughout the game they're just killing the other team and like cutting their heads off and slapping into the goal, like that kind of like fucking exploitation, like B like movie sci-fi type shit. And it's all to feed this fucking giant monster that lives underneath the ice. That shit was fucking awesome. The first story was kind of ugh. I think this is kind of hit or miss for me, but I don't know. I really like that hockey story, and maybe it's just because like I'm a huge hockey fan or whatever. But I fucking really liked it. I don't think it's worth $5, but there's some cool stuff in here.
See, for me, like I like the hockey story because again, Canadian, love hockey. I actually really like the dodgeball the most.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that was one of the cool ones. Yeah.
Between
I like
actually,
the first one.
Really? I don't know.
Oh god, the art alone was enough.
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't hate it. I wasn't offended.
Gilbert Hernandez, you can play my Gilbert Hernandez.
Oh god, that.
What was that fucking wrestling book he did? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Is there something like that?
Yeah.
Didn't read that.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
He's an indie creator. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, not. I hated the first story. I like the other two. I don't like anthology books to begin with. Like I want a consistent story. I don't want to hold small vignettes.
Yeah, me too. I think for $4 this would be really. I think this would be really good for $4 in my opinion.
I wouldn't even go that far.
In my opinion, $5 is too much.
Comicsology stuff, like, so it was all mixed in. So that's why I didn't realize I was paying that much. But
you never do till it's too late. Kyle, what'd you think of this?
About the same. The $5 kind of turned me off.
It's a lot
when you could pay that much, or even a little more for Dark Horse Presents, which is better. Especially talent wise. I mean, I thought it was there, just not kind of what I know. Like Paul Pope is doing a story in one of them eventually, but I think it's a lot to ask.
Maybe a trade would be better.
Yeah, but I mean, I even feel like Dark Horse Presents. You pay a little more, but it's always like that nicer book. Like it has the thicker paper.
Yeah. I feel you,
there's
but
more to it. Like, because even these aren't going to continue like story wise. Like they're just one shots.
This kind of thing, you're like, what is it called when you're fucking like investing money into something that may or may not pay off? Like that's how it feels every month with this kind of shit, because you're like, all right, last one was okay. This one could be fucking amazing. Like, it could be 4 knock out of the park stories, or it could be like 3 lame ones and one that I like, and I'm paying $5. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of it's tough. It's kind of a fucking potluck almost, where you're like, is this gonna pay off this month or not? Like, this is how I feel about Dark Horse Presents too. It's like there could be a lot of misses in here. Then I might be wasting my fucking money, but I don't know. Let's do. These 2 books I didn't really buy. Like, I just read the PDF, so I might need a little help explaining what happened in them. Let's do Red 1, number 1. This book is the art's by Terry Dodson. I don't remember who the writer is. Does anyone have
Xavier
that?
Dodson.
Who's that? Is that his son?
I don't know.
Wait, has he got the same last name? Are you sure?
Oh no, Xavier Dorson.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. It's not related to the Dodson.
Rachel did the inks.
Rachel did the inks. Yeah. This is a book about a Russian special agent, female Russian special agent that's really good looking, being sent to America to infiltrate American culture. She's sent to LA. She's supposed to, when she gets to America, she is supposed to pose as a superhero, someone for the Americans to look up to, and she's being sent to fight, or sort of, maybe not fight directly, but at least fight the image of a vigilante who has risen up in America and is sort of representing, I don't know, like...
It's a Puritan sect, so it's like...
Christian...
Yeah, it's like a very, very right-wing Christian Puritan sect that want to, like, stamp out filth. Think Westboro Baptist Church.
If they had a superhero or vigilante, she's being sent back to sort of be the counter option to that. So sort of.
No, it's not so much that. So they don't have the superhero. The superhero is doing his own thing. They're just rallying behind the superhero and taking him as their symbol because he's cleaning up the United States or something like that.
Do we know for sure he isn't working for them?
No, we don't. But
okay, so maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, that's pretty flimsy for me. I don't even know if it makes any sense why the Russians would want to do that. I don't.
They explain it because, okay, so the Puritan sect, so like the Christian Puritan sect, their leader has a very good shot of being voted into office in the upcoming election. I think the election is like in 6 months as a stand-in candidate because apparently that's what the American people want. And when you have somebody like that in like the highest power, they're likely to do crazy shit, like nuclear strike first on the communists, because she's like anti-communist, anti-gay, anti-everything. She wants like 1950s America. So the Russians are like, we can't be having this crazy motherfucker out here in America with her finger on the button. We need to bring our own person in to do like a counter PR kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the superhero that like the American people are rallying behind is the Carpenter, who is killing the unjust. So they're bringing in their own person to, I guess,
dirty it up a little bit.
Not even dirty it up, but like the way they explain it is that they're trying to give like a different image on it. So not necessarily like you don't necessarily have to kill the unjust. Maybe you just have to jail them or something like that. And she's gonna do it in a kind of communist way. I love this book, by the way. Like, this is my book of the week.
Are you fucking out of your mind?
No, I loved it.
Oh, dude. I disagree strongly. I thought this book was really fucking hard to get through, man. There was so much exposition. There was way too much fucking writing in here. Like, I know that I fucking read comic books, and I can't handle that many words, but, dude, there's fucking ridiculous in here how much exposition there was and extra bullshit I didn't have any interest in.
I love the art. I loved everything about it. I
There's
love the premise.
The exploitation type shit is okay, like to an extent. Like I'm cool with that. It's just if you're gonna go that direction, you really gotta simplify the fucking story a little bit. Like you can't have that much writing in a book that's about her fucking somebody on a plane. You know, like you can't mix the two. It's like let's choose one or the other. Like is this gonna be a dumb fucking just like fun throwaway exploitive like type book, or is this gonna be like some kind of super heady fucking political? Like, I don't know. I didn't think the mix of the two worked. I was super bored. I was really fucking bored reading this shit.
I don't think it's heady or like super heady as much as it is like it's for me anyway.
It's overwritten. I think it's overwritten.
It's overwritten. I will give you that. Like you're right. It's first and foremost an exploitation like idea, but it's nice to see things from like the Soviets' perspective and not have the Soviets be like, excuse me, I know we're like super American cast right now and all that, but it's nice to see like the Soviets not be the crazy ones.
Yeah.
Once like it's nice to like have them be represented as people who like they.
But you know they aren't, right?
Yeah, of course. Like they're crazy. They're almost Nazi-ish even.
That's a good way to put it, I think.
Yeah. But like it's just nice to see them represented in such a way that like they don't also want to extinguish the Earth. Like, they don't want the Cold War to become hot, so they're trying their best.
This book was almost anti-American, I would say.
I actually think it's
that's
more...
why we didn't like it.
This could be why it rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe that's why our Canadian representative really enjoyed it. Maybe that's the bottom of this. Did you like it, Kyle? I don't remember.
No. I mean, I didn't hate it. I just thought, like, any good ideas that it had was just fucking jumbled with the rest of the shit. Like, I like the vigilante. I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought it.
We didn't see anything about him either. Like he was barely in the fucking book, right?
No, I mean I enjoyed the opening where he fucking like stabs her hand. Like I thought that shit was cool.
It was cool once I got to it. Like fucking 15 minutes later, at a fucking reading.
I mean, we briefly talked about it. I mean, I'm not for like this. She felt really weird. She felt over sexualized when she didn't need to be. Like I don't have a problem with that in a comic, but like the shit on the plane really bugged me. Like
yeah, they could have taken that out. I think they're just trying to go for their sleaze. Like she's, excuse my saying this, but she's sexy. She's sexy and she knows it.
Like, like that dude wasn't like I don't know. It was just weird. Like I just felt like any good idea in the book was just like lost with like way much like. exposition talking, like fucking panel. Like Terry Dodson, I mean, as like super like sexy art he does, like I think he's a fairly good artist. Like
He's a really good
shit
artist.
sucks.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking lost, like in the amount of fucking like small panels he has to draw and all this
Fucking
dialogue.
huge like speech bubbles over everything.
I think.
Yo, we can't talk about this book anymore, Nakam. Wrap this shit up, dude. We're sounding like the fucking book right now.
Okay, let me just say this. If by issue 2 they're still having an exposition problem, don't read this book. But I think now that they've gotten rid of all the exposition, it should read a lot better. But that's saying if you're gonna get issue 2 or not. I am. I love this book.
I will not be picking up issue 2. I didn't pick up issue 1. Shaper #1. This is the last book we're gonna talk about. This is a Dark Horse book. I have no fucking information about this book. What's the artist and the writer?
Hold on. Artist Eric Heiserer.
No, that's it. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Felipe Masfrit.
Perfect. This is a book about.
Book, Ryan. Like,
is it? I didn't buy it.
It's Magic.
Magic the Gathering?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. I didn't fucking understand that part, the trading card part. This is a book about, apparently at one point in the universe there was the Shapers that could shapeshift. For some reason, whoever's in power decided that we need to get rid of these Shapers. We need to kill them all, exterminate them all. So they made this task force to send after the Shapers. They wiped them all out. So the Shapers are almost like sort of legend now. So like the kids collect trading cards of Shaper hunters and shit like that, like old, warriors that fought against the Shapers. So the story, that's the setup of the universe. That's the setting that we live in. The story's about this kid that, spoiler alert, he's a Shaper. He didn't know he was a Shaper. He's sort of finding out that he's a Shaper because he watches this woman that raised him, who's apparently his mom, and he didn't know it. She's like a guidance counselor or some shit. She gets taken by the fucking Shaper hunters, and she leaves him like a fucking R2-D2 message that's like, you're the last Shaper. This is your fucking destiny, is to become a Shaper or be who you are or some shit. So he's going to go after them to get back his mom or whatever the fuck she is. I thought it was pretty fucking good, I guess. I don't know. I didn't buy it just because I don't see me enjoying the story in single issues. Maybe better in a trade, and it's just not. I wasn't that excited about it, but I thought it was fine. I don't know. I don't have a strong position on this book either way.
Dude, this is a Saturday morning anime.
Yeah?
It's...
Is this your shit?
No. This is the shit they...
I thought that was your shit.
No, this is like the shit they give to 12-year-olds.
12-year-olds couldn't understand this. This is some advanced fucking...
No, like, it's the basic concept with the trading cards and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, the shape-shifting. I have seen this in an anime at some point.
She does turn into, like, a giant dragon, of course. Like a fucking giant magical dragon.
This is... I guarantee you the author was watching some fucking... It's called shonen, like, that's the genre. It's for young boys. The shonen anime was just like, yo... I can make this into an American comic.
Yeah, I don't know. Kyle, Shaper.
I'm in the same. I didn't.
It's like whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't fucking know. Somebody would like it. I'm
not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's what it is.
I need my shit. It seemed kind of. I don't know. Fuck, man. I don't like talking too much shit about books. And I really didn't hate this, but.
I like the next cover.
It seems kind of like a simple fucking story for someone that just wants to read some shit like that, where they want to watch some fucking war with really, really nice fucking drawings of fucking shaped dragons and shit like that. I don't know. I fucking didn't care about it. Maybe, like, I'm not trying to read something that's fucking, like, the fucking most well-written shit I've ever read every week, but, like, this was a little bit too simple and kind of just throwaway for me. Like, I don't give a shit about it, but it was fine, right? I mean, I don't know, like, maybe middle of the road, maybe like a 5 or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I could see if this is what...
It wasn't offensive. I wasn't pissed off or anything like that. I just wasn't...
I enjoyed the art. I like the art.
Yeah, it was cool. It was whatever. That's it for this week, right?
Yep.
Next week is going to be super fucking short. We're going to be playing Bloodborne. There will be a podcast. It's probably going to be about Bloodborne and a few comics, like maybe 2 or 3 comics. But yeah, fucking
Are
Bloodborne
we
is
gonna try
definitely
and figure out how
happening.
to stream it?
Maybe. We're gonna see about that. No promises. But yeah, Bloodborne's coming out next week.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking deal at least for me and Kyle. I can't speak for Nakem.
Oh no, I'm fucking getting that shit. So
All
this is what I want everybody to do, because I know there is a multiplayer component. Go onto our Reddit. It's reddit.com/r/the Death of Comics, or is it just Death of Comics?
It's just Death of Comics.
Death of Comics.
Yeah.
Somebody, maybe intern Ryan can do it. Maybe I'll do it. I won't do it.
Working
But
on Google.
Nakem, do it. You should do it. Nakem should do it.
I'll see.
Intern Ryan's very busy on Googler work.
Yeah. I'll
There is
see
no
what I can do,
Googlers.
but
It does not exist.
someone should create a thread that has, so we can all just start posting our PSN account names.
God, this is so fucking.
We can all add each other.
Yeah.
Play with each other. Good
Yeah.
times will be had.
Yeah.
Fuck, put your Steam, put your Xbox Live. I know you guys were talking about maybe we can all be doing something so we can get Brent to come play with us, but
Yo, we played with Brent last night. Me and Kyle.
Yeah.
shit, really?
Brent will be playing Bloodborne. But
Then fuck.
Brent will be playing.
If you want me off the cast and you want Brent back, because we all do,
Donate. Wait, don't miss the donations. Donate $50. I will kick Nakem off the cast for a week.
Yeah.
Donate fucking $300. I'll
$50
kick him
and I
off
get a week off.
indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
Fine.
Even better.
300
Strongly
indefinitely.
worded email.
Yeah, one strongly worded email with no donation, and we'll think about it. Yo, you know what would be nice if go to our Reddit. Like, listen, I don't need all right. TDOC does not need any donations. We do not need any money. Although I do have to buy the fucking web hosting next month, and I'm kind of pissed about that. But just go to our Reddit. That's all I ask. If you listen to the show, it's free every fucking week. Just go to our Reddit and fucking interact. It's good.
Well, no, if you join.
It's fun.
We're at 98 members right now. Every time that shit goes up one, I feel a little bit happier.
If we could hit 100, that would feel fucking good. Yeah, just go fucking subscribe to it. It's just r/Death of Comics. I don't even fucking give a shit if you write. I hope you do, but just subscribe to it. Make us feel good, and that's what this is all about. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. Peace.
Peace out.
Googlers 2017.
Yeah, you fucking 2007?
2017.
We have 2 years to get Googlers off the ground.
Yeah. It's doable.
I did not. Dude, that conversation made me fucking nervous. That shit sounded like the fucking Googlers conversation about saving people's nudes. Like, that shit sounds like some shit that could get us in trouble. It scares me.
How? I don't understand how that's any more